Newton's first law of motion says that an object in motion will stay in motion, and an object at rest will stay at rest unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. In that segment, the object was the soccer ball, and the unbalanced force was my brother's foot. So, the ball was at rest, and it would continue to stay at rest until Ben kicked it. So he did, and it would continue to keep rolling, but gravity and friction were both acting on it, causing it to slow down and eventually stop. In that segment, the object was the ping pong ball, and the unbalanced force was my hand and my ping pong paddle. So first, my hand put an unbalanced force on the ping pong ball. I picked it up, causing it to move, and so it didn't stay at rest anymore. And then I threw it up in the air, so it kept moving, and then I served it, and it kept going until it hit the wall, and then it stopped. Newton's second law of motion says that the force of an object is equal to its mass times its acceleration. In that segment, the two objects were the ping pong ball and the soccer ball. The ping pong ball is a little tiny, and so it doesn't have much mass, which means that it requires less force for it to accelerate faster. And then the soccer ball, it's a lot bigger, so it needs more force to accelerate at the same speed. So, I tried to use the same amount of force on both the rainbow of the soccer ball and just the normal kick of the ping pong ball. And you had seen how the ping pong ball had traveled faster, and that's due to its lighter weight. And the soccer ball just went farther because it had more mass, so it required more opposing forces to stop it. In that segment, the objects were the paper airplane and the tennis ball. The tennis ball flew farther because it had more mass, and so I needed a larger force, which meant that it had higher acceleration. And then the paper airplane didn't go as far because it had a smaller mass, so it was easier to stop. And the opposing force was aerodynamic friction things. Newton's third law of motion says that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So in that segment, it was about juggling a soccer ball. So the action was the gravity causing the ball to fall down. And then the reaction was Ben going to kick it, and so his force going up on the ball and the gravity's force going down on the ball caused it to bounce back up. In that segment, the action and reaction was the ping pong ball and the paddles. So the first action was me hitting the ball with the paddle. And so since the reaction was my hand holding the ball, which had a force against it, but still, my paddle's force was greater, so it went forward. And then the second action-reaction was my brother hitting it back with the exact same thing, except for this time, the ball was just traveling that way. So the force of the ball was going this way, and the paddle was going this way. So they reacted.